that is disturbing, y'all. What did you expect when he got married to somebody of mixed background, of mixed race? Do you think she's gonna be farting candy? There is a chance that she would have a dark-skinned child. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's that proud black woman here again, and thank you so much for tuning in on another episode of my Friday dose of that proud black woman. Who doesn't want to be here? You just tell me, okay? Because you know what, I give you really great content back to back every Friday. So yeah, proud fam, this is the best place to be right now. So what are we talking about today? First of all, let me pose the royal way, okay? Get it? So anyway, there's been over the past 2 days now, 2 to 3 days, there's been this noise about, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and Oprah Winfrey's interview, and people have been having all kinds of diverse opinions. Some people think it's fake, some people think it's real, some people are just neutral. Where do you belong? What school of thought do you belong to? Before we get right into the discussion, you know what to do, proud fam. If you're already a loyal subscriber, thank you so much, welcome. I love you so much for always supporting me, for always being there for me. If you've not been, subscribing and you've been watching, girl, what are you waiting for? Click the red subscribe button right now. It's down below. Just click on it and make me happy today, okay? If you don't know what we do here, I'm that proud black woman. I'm your host, and I always talk about immigration, inclusion and diversity matters, anti-racism matters, as well as the lawyer licensing process in Ontario, Canada. So if you don't know, I am a trained lawyer and I'm licensed to practice in 2 countries, which is why I talk about immigration, and which is also why I'm passionate about inclusion and diversity, and why I talk about the lawyer licensing process. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So if you're still here, it means you're interested in what I have to say. So thank you so much for staying tuned. So what are we talking about today? Oh my God. Top 10 shocking revelations that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle brought to limelight. Were you surprised? The truth is, every single thing that I heard on that interview, I wasn't surprised. The truth is, it's only because they are royals, that's why it's becoming a big deal. Every single black person, a person of color, one time or the other, have suffered racism, but hers went to a higher level. I don't know what people expected. Did you think that because she's married to the royal household, she was not going to be a victim of racism? Think about it. For generations, there's never been any black person in the royal family, and then you just go bring somebody, which, number one, she is half black. Number 2, she's been divorced before. Number 3, she's American. And you think everything's just going to go smoothly. It's not going to just ride off into the sunset. So I wasn't surprised. Hearing all of this, the thing is, it's about time that we heard what actually has been going on. Because we've been left in the dark. We're wondering, why did they leave? Why didn't they leave? Blah, 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 blah. The truth is, now they have the courage to come out, especially now that they're free and they're able to, they're just like the rest of us, okay? So yeah, I wasn't surprised. What did you think? Leave a comment in the comment section what you think. Do you think it was right for them to come out this way, or do you think they should have kept their silence? Leave a comment in the comment section what you think. So number 1 of the shocking things that was revealed was how little we all know about the royal family. She said she never googled her husband ever, even when they started dating, because she just assumed that the royal family is a big family where they're all lovey-dovey, they're all nice and kind, and you get to wear poofy clothes. She didn't actually say that, but that's what everybody always think the life of a princess would be like. You wear poofy clothes, you go to meet lords and dukes and duchesses and all of that, and you drink coffee and wine and all of that. From what we've heard from her, it wasn't any of that. It wasn't any of that at all. And at the end of the day, it's an institution which the Queen is at the head of it, but it is run by a whole lot of people. It's run by other people, and they get to say what is good for the institution, what is not good. Every time you have to run everything by them, and then if they decide, well, it doesn't look good for the institution, then it's a no-no. You can't do, even up until going out. She said she has to ask them, can I go for this event? If they say no, then she's gonna have to stay in. And she said sometimes she goes out only twice in 4 months, which would be lonely for somebody that's been an independent woman for quite a long time. It would be lonely. If she was born in Britain and she grew up grooming to be the princess, maybe she would have found it in a different light. I don't know. I'm not judging. I don't know what happens there. I don't know what transpired. But she's an American. She's been independent all her life. So coming into that, you have to understand that it would be difficult. It would be different. Period. So that's number one shocking thing that she revealed, that she knew only a little bit about the monarchy. Are you surprised? What do you think? Number two, big reveal. Oh my God. Did you know that they got married 3 days before the wedding, the big royal wedding that we all watched out, a lot of people streamed worldwide? Did you know that? Because I actually didn't know, and I'm even surprised that they revealed that on Oprah Winfrey show. Like, you wouldn't, like, I'm sure that if they were still in the monarch system, they wouldn't have been able to say that. They would have been silenced. None of us knew, and I'm surprised why they did that. Do we know? I don't know. Do I have an opinion about it? Probably they wanted that to just be the ceremony. They wanted something more for the family, something more sacred, something more private within themselves. And then the other one was just for the show, for people that needed to see in the world, for people's expectations. Who am I to judge? And who are you to judge too? What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Why did you think they did that? Is that normal practice for the royal family? Did they get married and then do the big show, or is it something that Harry and Meghan started just for their own privacy, so that they enjoy the company of just family? I don't know. Leave a comment if you know what it is, or if you're British and you know how it goes, let us know. Number three, the revelation about the tablet. Am I surprised about the tablet? No, this happened at the time of Princess Diana. In 1997, I was already in high school. So at least I knew a little bit about what was happening. And the problem started from the tabloids and the royal family not intervening, not helping out. Because like, the royal family is the largest family, the family in control of the whole of Britain. So if they want to shut a tabloid up, I believe they have the power to do that. But they didn't. In the time of Princess Diana, up until it led to her death. And her son is going through the same thing. But this time is different. This time is different. It is racially charged. It is racially charged to the extent that they say all kinds of things that are not true about this woman. And the royal family said absolutely nothing. One of the things that she revealed was about this story that went out about her making Kate Middleton cry. I was surprised to hear her say it was all it was a lie, a big lie, that it was the opposite. And you could see the pain in her eyes when she said it. Like, she was very hesitant. She wasn't sure if she'd say anything or not, because she's still feeling like she's still in that monarchy system. She's still trying, she was so graceful about it. She's still trying to protect the name of the family while, expressing herself and expressing her truth so that people can hear it. So she was thinking about, should I say, should I not say? You could see it in her face, you could see it in her, body expression. But she was only disappointed in the royal family because they never said anything to the press. When the press said those things, they could have come out to say, this is not true. Or Kate herself could have come out, okay, we know she's trapped in the system, she cannot do anything. But the royal family could have said something, that's a big lie, that never happened. But they said absolutely nothing. And she believed that it is racially charged. It's because that it's different from the time of Princess Diana, because she is a black woman. And you know the funny part is, before then I knew she was not white, but I didn't know she was like black. I thought she was like maybe Hispanic, mixed with Hispanic or mixed with some other race. Why is this so much of a problem? You would think that she would have been prepared for the royal family, or Harry would have prepared her more, but apparently she didn't know much, and Harry didn't know it was going to be that bad, which is why they left in the first place. So we can only say what we heard. We can only react on what we heard them say. Number 4, shocking revelation. Harry said something. He said he felt trapped in the system. He felt trapped in the institution. And what struck me was when Oprah said, "How can you be strapped? You're the prince," or something like that. It's something along those lines. And like he immediately he defended himself like, "I don't feel trapped like that. I feel trapped within the institution." And hear this. He's not saying only him is trapped. He said he knows that his dad is trapped as well, and his brother is trapped as well. But his dad has made peace with it. He's been through it. He's made peace with it. His brother as well has made peace with it. They are not able, or they're never ever going to get out. But he had to get out. He's gotten out, and he feels grateful for living, because now he's free and he can do whatever he likes. He can do definitely nothing to bring down the name of the royal family, but he's still putting his family first, which is something that they never do in the royal family. They put duty first, let me say. They put their duties first before family. That's what the Queen did. That's what his dad did. That's what his brother did. But for him, family first, because he's suffered the loss of his mom. He doesn't want to suffer the loss of his wife, because he can see that happening anytime soon, which you will find out from other revelations that we got to find out that blew our mind as well. Okay, number 5, shocking revelation. This one is surprising. Oh my God, really surprising, because apparently the royal family cut Prince Harry off. Like, they cut him off from all kinds of finances since the first quarter of 2020. So he was like nothing. He had nothing, including his security detail, which according to him he inherited. Like, he was born into the royal family. He inherited. It's his birthright. Agreed, it's paid for by the taxpayers' money, but tough life. When you're royal, there's some things that you're just entitled to. Other people have to pay for it. That's why it's called royal. Other people have to pay for your livelihood, but are they working for it? Like, for God's sakes, he's served in the army. Like, he's been up and about. He's a great guy. Those things for Britain, he does his official duties. So what are we talking about? So they withdrew that, which means they are left. Whatever happens, maybe they're going to be murdered, maybe they're going to be assassinated. They don't care, because, oh, you know what? It's going to look bad on the royal family, because since they're no longer serving members of the royal family, then we can give them security details. Are you kidding me? That's just nonsense, but who am I to say anything? So I don't believe that. I believe it's all racially charged. It's all because of Meghan, because they believe, how dare you, black girl, come. First of all, you bamboozled our son. I don't even know if that's the right word. And you made him get married to you. As if that's not enough, you're making him quit his royal duties that he was born into. So I feel it's out of that frustration and out of that, just trying to get back at them. So they withdrew his security details, no problem. But then they also withdrew, like, they cut off all financial assistance in the first quarter of 2020, which means they're trying to say, well, if you don't have money, what are you going to do? And remember that when they said they have to return every penny that they used to renovate their house, I think in Sussex, something like that, which was millions of pounds or dollars, something like that, and they had to return it back. Why? Like, you could have given, even if you hold the government as a regular person money, they will give you a payment plan. They will give you an instrumental payment, or you can pay within 5 years at such and such. So you cut off their financial assistance, and you told them to pay back all this debt. It seems to me like they're just trying to get back at them for some reason. And I keep repeating, it's all racially charged. So tough. If you think that the royal family is not racist, well, it's your opinion. You have your opinion. But as a black person, looking at it from my point of view, from my perspective, and judging by what she's been through and why they had to leave, it couldn't have been all rosy. And then who wants to leave a royal home? So that's one of the things that still blew my mind, which was very shocking to me, and I believe it was shocking to you too if you watched the video. Number 6 shocking revelation is the real truth behind leaving the royal family, behind living as senior working members of the family and leaving the country to come to Canada, and then from Canada move to LA, is because he said he fears that history is going to repeat itself. He fears for his family. He fears that he's not getting any support from the royal family. And need I say again, simply because his wife has 50% black blood in her. Nothing else. So he can see that, and it was affecting his mental health. He saw that this was going to come crashing down pretty fast. So he had to do something. He had to do something. And according to him, he kept saying, the tabloids went and said, oh, he left the royal family because of Meghan. It was Meghan and all of that. He said he has felt trapped for a long time. He has felt trapped, but it was Meghan coming into his life that made him see the light that, yeah, he has to get out, and he has to do it now for his family. Otherwise, history was going to repeat itself. It would have been different if he got the support that he needed from his family, but he wasn't getting the support either from his immediate parents or from his grandparents or from the institution as a whole. He's not getting any support. They're just letting, according to him, they just say, well, it happens to the best of us, so deal with it, suck it up, buttercup. There's nothing we can do about it. Press would always talk, they have freedom. That's what they're just telling them. They're not doing anything. Oh, if you want, you can't always get good press. Well, suck it up, buttercup. You should think about these things. They must have gone through a lot for them to even come out. I'm sure it was not easy for them to actually come out. And remember that in the interview, Oprah said she has tried to interview her in the past, and she said, oh, not at this time. It was because she couldn't say anything, because then they were still in the institution, trapped in the institution. So now they're coming out of their shell. They're able to say whatever they want to say. They're living their best life. They're living happy. So, leave a comment down below. What do you think? What do you think about the expression of them saying they felt trapped? That the system makes them feel trapped. What's your opinion? Leave it in the comment section. Because a lot of people always look at the royal family as, oh my God, you're going to be a princess, you're going to be wearing tiaras, you're going to be wearing big ball gowns, you're going to be drinking, tea in tiny British teacups and all of that. Well, what they're telling us from this is, it's not like that. It's not like that. You have to. Oh my goodness, royal family. I guess I thank God I'm not a princess. At least not a British princess. I'm a princess back in Nigeria. Princess to a princess to a princess. So the show, it was very concerned that history was going to repeat itself, and this time it was a lot different from when Princess Diana's time, when it was just the tablet. Now the fact that she's black, the fact that she is an American, the fact that she's a divorcee, and the fact that the social media is there, she's been battered, she's been bullied and all of that, and social media keep carrying all kinds of fake news, and nobody's trying to get things sorted. It was a big problem for them. It was affecting both their mental health, it was affecting their new family, so they just had to leave. So that was the main reason why he said they left, nothing else. And it wasn't supposed to be them leaving finally. It was just for them to step back from royal duties and live a better life and then give support. But then it's like the royal family ain't having it. Like, oh, you think you can step up? Well, we're gonna cut your security detail. Well, we're gonna stop sending you financial support. Well, if you don't have money, what are you going to do? Well, you're gonna come running back to us. Girls, they proved them wrong. They proved them wrong, because at the end of the day, no matter what, that they're still royalty. even if they're not living in Britain, even if they lost their title or whatever, they will continue to be royals to anybody, to wherever they go in the world. So that's going to open doors for them regardless. I'm not saying they're not working hard, but the truth is that will always be over them. That would always be a privilege for them. So just saying. Number 7 shocking revelation from that interview was Meghan said she was silenced. Do you know what it means to be silenced? So she's not saying she was silent. She said she was silenced, which means they would never let her say nothing at all. She said everybody in her world, as soon as she started dating Harry, they instructed all of them that when the press approaches them, they should say no comment. So they couldn't say anything. And when things happen, when there's bad press, the family is not even saying, like the institution as a whole and also the family, they are not saying the truth to help them. They just keep quiet. Like they're not saying, disputing that it's true, it's a lie, or it's true. They're just quiet. So they let the press roll with whatever story they wanted to put out there. So she felt silenced. And then, as I said before, she said sometimes she's not even able to leave the house. She's not able to leave the house because it's not going to look good on the institution. What kind of a thing is that? So, what kind of a life is that? She even said something to that when not even her, it was Oprah that said in 2018 when she called them or something, called Meghan for an interview, that she had said something like, somebody in the royal family has said it would be better if she's 50% less of herself. Tell me that is not racially charged. Just tell me that. If you are, you will be better off if you're 50% less than yourself. And Oprah was surprised. She was like, how are you going to survive if you're half of yourself? Like, how are you going to survive? That's crazy for somebody to approach you and say, well, you'll be better off for everybody if you're 50% less of yourself. To me, I interpret that racially, like, well, you're 50% black, 50% white. So it would have been better if you shed the 50% black of you and, just stay in the 50% white that you have. It's surprising. I believe everything she said. I personally. And this is not about being biased. It's about looking at the trajectory, how things happened, how things started, how it continued to be, and how it ended. Nobody, if she was chasing clout, nobody would go into the royal family after such an elaborate wedding, after having the child leave, and they have to pay back all that money. Of course, it doesn't make any sense. So they must have been going through something. Believe it or not, either the royals believe it or not, they must have been going through something so painful, so much that he would abandon his birthright to flee to Canada and then onward to LA because of a woman. They must have been going through something. So that's why I believe them, because it never made sense before. We kept thinking, what's been going on? But now, the timeline and everything that she's been saying, the trajectory, it just all makes sense. It just all makes perfect sense. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let's make this as interactive as possible. I will try to respond to as many people as I can respond to, but let's make this a conversation. What do you think? Do you think she's lying? Do you think this never happened? Do you think she's kind of tweaking the truth a little bit? Do you think she's exaggerating the fact? Or do you think this is exactly what happened that you're talking about? Because remember, the royal family, they have so much power. So if you're going to be lying against them, they're not going to take it lightly with you. Regardless of if they are trying. You can see what happened with Princess Diana. All of a sudden, she had an accident and died. Who knows what could happen? So that's the truth. I believe everything that she said, not because I'm black, but because I have common sense and I can trace the trajectory, I can trace the timeline, and everything that happened before never made sense, but shedding this light on it makes the most sense. So I'm going with whatever she said. If you don't believe it, it's your opinion. Leave it in the comment section. Let's discuss it. Show us, why do you think it's wrong? What are your proof? And if you believe it's right too, also, why do you think it's right? They're right, and what do you believe? Let's know in the comment section. Number 8 shocking revelation that we found out. I already mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, but now I'm going to throw a little bit more light on it. So Oprah Winfrey had asked Meghan Markle about the tabloids, the news that came out about her making Kate Middleton cry, and in one word she wanted to know, yes or no, did you make Kate Middleton cry or not? And she said no, she never did. And you could see the pain in her eyes because she never wanted to talk about it. But she said it so gracefully, like, I never did such a thing. The royal family knows that. Kate knows that never happened. But she said something that blew our mind, that it was the opposite. It was Kate Middleton that made her cry. Just because of flower girl dresses or something, which, by the way, I believe you shouldn't have an opinion. It's your wedding. You should be the one to choose the dresses. You can give me your opinion, but I'm not supposed to take it. I would consider it, but if it doesn't go with my ideas, I would shed it and go with mine. So I don't know why she should lord over her to the extent that she cried, whereas she's the one having the wedding. Now the tabloids turned it around, and she said something that really touched me. She said, you would know that the tabloids actually do not report the news. They create the news. They create the news just to stir up problems, to stir up trouble, to make everything look so bad. And she was talking about when they tracked down her parents, they tracked down her father, and they were so happy. They tracked him all the way down to the US, and somebody was living next to him, somebody was living across the road to him and offering him all kinds of things. And then they had a lot of information, but they didn't release it until a week before the wedding, just because they wanted to stir up trouble. So in that sense, she said, they don't report the news, they create the news. They only create in such a way that it will suit them, the way that it would arouse what they want to arouse in people. So yeah, I don't blame them for leaving. Well, would I leave? I don't know. I might not have the courage, but we have to look at it from the aspect that for them to be courageous, I've never heard about it. I've never heard of this. And I've never heard of a royal family just walking out. Maybe it's happened in the 17th or 18th century, but at least since I've been alive and in like the stories I've heard, I've never heard that. People stepping down, leaving. So for them to take that step, it must have been unbearable. Unbearable. Okay, so do you still think they're lying? Still leave your comment in the comment section. Let's discuss it. Let's trash it out. Let's discuss it. Okay, so that's number 8 shocking revelation. However, she said Kate Middleton apologized when she realized that she was wrong, and she said that's what she would have done too. If she realized that she was wrong, she would have done exactly the same for Kate. So Kate apologized, brought her flowers and all of that, so she's not holding it against her. So she still loves her. They're still sister-in-laws. All is well and good. Number 9, and the second to the last one. Number 9 that blew my mind. This is the one that shows extreme racism. As I said before they started making all of this black accusation, I wouldn't have thought she was black. I know she was tan, but I thought she was just tan, or maybe she had some mixture but not black mixed in her race. I'm not being racist, I'm not being biased, I'm just saying. So she doesn't look as black as they say. I felt like maybe she had like some Hispanic blood or some Indian blood, something. And then I thought she was Canadian, so I was thinking maybe she had some First Nation blood in her. I never thought about her being black. So the shocking revelation that they made was that while she was pregnant, somebody in the royal family, which they said they were never going to have that conversation, somebody in the royal family was concerned about the skin tone of this child that has not been born yet. That is the skin tone going to be dark? And then they said, do you know he's not going to have security detail? A child that has not been born, you're already taking it away his birthright of security. And then they said he's not going to have a title. Can you tell me why he wouldn't get a security detail when every single child born into the royal family has always had one? And can you tell me why, being the first black child ever, which is not even black, it's like quarter black, born into the royal family, would be denied of security detail and denied of a title, if not because of racism. Explain that part. And then they said, one thing that struck me that they said, Prince Harry said, this conversation was had several times, which he's not going to discuss who said it, but he can say two things. It was not his grandmother, which is the Queen, and it was not his grandfather, which is the Queen's husband. So now it makes me start thinking, are fingers pointing to his father, Prince Charles? Or is it Prince William's, his older brother? Because who else would have said that? But he said he's not going to say anything. But that is disturbing, y'all. Why would you ask that? What did you expect when he got married to somebody of mixed background, of mixed race? Do you think she's going to be farting candy? Do you think she was going to be farting popcorns? No. There is a chance that she would have a dark-skinned child. Most of the time, because of how she looks and how really white the husband, Harry, is, I would expect the child to be really white. Truth be told, I would expect the child to be really white. So I don't know why they're concerned. And it shows how little knowledge they have, even though they go out there and say, oh, and stop racism, and no to this and no to that. How little they know about these things, because otherwise you won't be asking that question. You can easily go on Google. The royals can use phones. They can go on Google as well. You can Google and see what are your chances, and then what does that matter? Is your blood is going to be coming in with the royal blood, because Prince Harry is fully royal and the blood is going to pass on to his child. So why does that matter, for crying out loud? So that was a really disturbing. It's more disturbing than shocking for me. It's more disturbing than shocking. But they're keeping their lips sealed about who said what. All we know is it wasn't the Queen. It wasn't the Queen's husband. Oh well. I guess maybe when they feel more relaxed, they're gonna say something. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll see how this goes. Number 10 and the final for today, before I rant a little bit, how I feel about this. So now, number 10, the most crazy thing that she said was she was suicidal. That's the height of it. She was, like, she said that there was a time that she needed, if she found it so hard to ask for help, but then she went to the institution because she just summoned the courage and went to the institution and said, this is how I feel about my mental health, and I would need to go somewhere for help. And the institution turned her down because it was not going to look good on the royal family. And she said, do you know how hard is it to ask for help, and then to ask for that help but do not get support in return? She said she didn't want to tell Harry because she knows that Harry has gone through that before, but she couldn't keep it because she felt that if she doesn't say anything, then she doesn't want to leave at all. That was powerful, y'all. She said she doesn't want to leave at all if she cannot tell her husband. So she had to tell her husband and also Princess Diana's friend that this is what she's going through, and they understood because they've gone through the same before. She said there was a time that they were going to go for an engagement, and her husband, Prince Harry, said, are you sure you're going to be able to go? She said, no, I'd rather go because I don't want to be left alone, because she's scared of what she's going to do to herself. That's crazy. Do I believe her? Absolutely yes, because depression can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter if you're royal or if you're not royal, especially living in a country that's entirely new to you, and a royal family that you've thought so highly of but think so little of you, brings you down to the scrappiest scrap of it all, not giving you any support, and then already giving you all the backlash about what color your child is going to be, even though you haven't given birth to the child. It would affect your mental health. So I believe her. If she said she wanted to commit suicide, I believe her, because it could happen to the best of us regardless. So yes, if you're not getting the support that you have, so all of these things are what Harry thought about, and flashback of what happened when he was little, that happened to his mom, and the tabloids, and not getting support from the royal family, and all of that. Like, it must have been like a tornado in his head. And he said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm taking my family and I'm skedaddling from here. Point blank, period. And that's exactly what they did. Moved the stuff, came to Canada, didn't stay long in Canada, moved to LA, and I heard that they have a multi-million dollar house which they're going to be renovating soon. But they're living the best life. They're living in, like, they have nature all around, where, because he said, like Prince Harry said, he couldn't just ride a bike when it was like just ride, but now he's looking forward for his son to ride a bike around the neighborhood, make his first new friend around the neighborhood, and all of that. And as I heard, little Archie has been a chatterbox. He's not even 2 years old yet. He's not even 2 years old yet, and I heard that his first word was crocodile. Most people would be da da or ma ma, mostly da da, but he went to the whole 10 yards, like crocodile, like crocodilo, crocodile. So you can see greatness already in that child. I don't care. It doesn't have to, like, a lot of people made it in life, not being royals. So I believe that they can make it regardless. It's always going to be a shadow lingering around their head, but they would make it. They would sign big deals. They would make it in life without the royal money. So they can keep their taxpayers' money, as far as I'm concerned. If it's tainted with racism, they can keep it. If he said he's in love with Meghan Markle and he's in love with his family, then so be it. Now, this is not even part of the bombshell, but I'm just going to say it anyway, is they're pregnant, and they got to reveal to us that they're having a girl. So as a mother as well, I have a son and I have a girl, and I remember I had a son as a first, and I was praying for a girl, that if I have a girl, I'm done and dusted. And I can remember when I went to check the sex of the child and it was a girl, I was over the moon. I had to go check again just in case it changes. You know how you watch movies and then they give birth and then they told them it was a girl, then it all comes out with a penis. Yeah, I was so sure. I wanted to be so sure before I started buying things. So, and I was like, yeah, my family is complete. So with them as well, Prince Harry was so happy. He said, you know, he has a son now, and now they're having a girl. They're complete. They're 4, and they have their 2 dogs. So the family is complete. They're going to have the best of time. So I wish you all the best. But parents out there, please put your children first. Don't think about. Don't put your duty first. We know you owe a duty, regardless of what position you are. Those children, they have blood running through their vein. They have emotions. So they still want a father. They still want a friend. They still want a parent. Okay? Not a soldier. Not the ruler of the kingdom. A father, a mother, a friend, a sister, a brother. Please be that to them. Because you don't know how it can affect their mental health, which is what is happening now. This couldn't have happened if they just shown a little more concern, a little more care, a little more love. That even though the tablet is saying all of this, we don't believe that. We don't care what they're saying, but we support you. It would have been a different story. And then this person called Morgan Pierce, which is the host of the morning show in the UK, kept going on and on, and like, I couldn't believe my ears. Oh my God, that guy is so freaking annoying. Kept saying, oh, anyway, there's pandemic in the whole world, and the world is going through problem, and then all they're talking about is they've had it tough, or blah. What does pandemic has to do with this? Has been going on even before the pandemic hit. That's another way to silence it, and I can see racism reaching all over his forehead because he kept using derogatory was like, oh, what are they're bleating about this, and he kept saying, and even the lady was so uncomfortable. She kept saying, don't you see a problem with what you're saying? Don't you see? Because in one breath you said they're bleating, they're screeching, they're saying like you said all of those things, and he just kept saying, yeah, oh, they're trying to taint the name of the queen, oh, they've had this so bad, blah blah blah. Like, he just kept going on and on national TV. And I was talking to one of my colleagues, and I said, You know, by the end of the day, we're going to hear, because when people get on his case, we're going to hear that he resigned, because that's what they do all the time. Remember Meghan Kelly, she's always saying all kinds of nonsense to, like, oh, Jesus is white. Jesus is obviously white. Santa Claus is obviously white. And then after getting in trouble, she resigns and they find a job somewhere else. And this guy also has a history of doing that, according to what I heard. And less than 2 hours after that, I heard he resigned. He stepped down as the host of whatever. We don't care about your stepping down, because it doesn't take that racist ideology out of your head. It doesn't take that. It just means you live there and then you go to another place and continue with your racism. So at the end of the day, I don't care if you step down or you don't step down. I don't care about that. It's ridiculous. So at the end of the day, it still all boils down to family support. If you have the support of your family, no matter what the tabloids are saying, no matter what social media is saying, if you have the strong support of your family, you will be good. Point blank, period. You will be good. But apparently, they felt let down, not just by the institution, but also by the parents, by the siblings, by the family. To the extent that he said when he went to the UK, before that he had already called his grandma, which is the Queen, that he was coming to visit. And as soon as he touched down, an email was sent to him that, well, the Queen is going to be busy and going to be busy all through the week. So he picked up his phone and called the Queen himself, like, well, I was going to come visit, but then they said you're going to be busy. Oh yeah, she didn't know that she had something, and then she's going to be busy all through the week. And Oprah said, isn't she the Queen? Doesn't the Queen get to do what the Queen wants to do? Which is a powerful thing to say. And then he thought about it and said, you know what? Yes, she's the Queen, but she has a duty. And there are people like CEOs and people that are running the institution, that are running the firm. So there are advisors that will tell her, you know, it is not advisable to let you be seen with your own grandchild. And so some British journalist said, you know, the Queen has never been known to wear a heart on her sleeves. So she has said, the Queen said she will not be watching the interview. So we already know that she's not going to be watching the interview. And people are concerned that as matters as big as racism, accusations as big and as huge as this, even though the royal family usually would not succumb to explaining themselves to anybody, but this matter is a matter of racism. We all know it is massive. So is the Buckingham Palace going to be releasing a statement based on this? What do you think? Do you think they would come, and do you think they will swallow their pride and do that? Do you? I don't think they will, but I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, if you think they're gonna, like, Buckingham Palace or any member of the senior member of the royal family will be coming up with a statement, either to disprove or apologize, leave a comment in the comment section. Let's know what you think. And the final thing that I wanted to touch upon was when Oprah asked him that would somebody in the royal family, or probably his dad, apologizing, would it make a difference? And he said yes, it would make an absolute huge difference. He said he's so disappointed in his dad, he's disappointed in his brother, but at the end of the day, he would always love them because they're his family. He knows that they are trapped. He knows that they're never going to leave, but he has left that situation and he has always felt trapped. But now he's so happy that he's out of the system, but with a wife and family by his side. How magnificent, how mind-blowing is that? That yes, I was in the system for so long, I never had the support of my family. I left the system, but I'm happy I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it with the support of my wife by myself. And now they have a complete family of their own. That's mind-blowing. So please, royal family, release a statement. We don't want to be biased and listening to only what they have to say. We know that it is not in your tradition or it is not in your character to explain yourself. But this is an issue of racism. You know how big that issue has been, especially since last year, the killing of George Floyd, and so many other social media showing how black people have been murdered and how black people have been victims of all kinds of brutality due to their race. So this is a huge deal. So I, for one, will be expecting the royal family to at least give a statement. What do you think? Okay, just to give you a quick update on what has transpired in the UK. So the Buckingham Palace finally gave an update. Remember, a couple of minutes ago I was saying that, do you think that the Buckingham Palace or anybody in the royal family was going to give a statement concerning the accusation of racism? And yeah, so I just got an update. So before uploading this video, I said, let me include it. But to me, I'm going to leave the photo of the statement either here or here, but to me, I believe that it was not genuine, because what they said is the accusations of racism were concerning, and even though their recollection may vary, but they're taking it seriously and they would like to deal with it privately as a family. However, Archie, Meghan and Harry will continue to be loved members of their family. To me, I feel it's not genuine. I feel like they're just telling us, you want a statement, we're giving you a statement, so shut up, let's do it by ourselves. That's what I think. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Just thought this video is not going up until Friday, which is in 2 days time, but I don't want you to be getting like outdated info. Do you think they will give a statement, or do you think they should give a statement? Do you think that Harry's father should apologize to him because Prince Charles apparently stopped picking his calls until lately after a lot of work? What do you think? So that's all I have for you today. Remember, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share with all your friends and family, and click that red subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that every single time I post new videos, you're one of the first to get notified. When do I post? I post my original content every single Friday. Something that I'm going to be starting on 13th of March is a YouTube live where I'm going to be bringing all kinds of speakers, notable speakers, keynote speakers that are going to be speaking with us. So make sure that you join me. I'm going to be bringing you awesome speakers every Saturday up until I'm just going to take cues from you and as many people as I can invite onto the show. So starting from the 13th, the first one that we're going to be talking about on Saturday, the 13th of March, is reflecting on the successes of strong black women. And that's because of the International Women's Day, or the Women's History Month, which is the month of March. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and please support me. Make sure you show up for the event. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe, share with our family, friends and loved ones, and let's continue to show love to one another. I love you all. You know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. Proud fam.